Hey, 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 welcome to Silence is Golden, the show where we help you start and grow your very own WordPress consulting business. He's Troy Dean.
He's Simon Kelly.
And today what we're going to be talking about is why your website isn't working and how to fix it. Let it out, let it out. We're going to be talking about why your clients are a reflection of you, and we're going to be looking at a couple of case studies from within WP Elevation. All that and a lot more. Stay with us.
You know, I just have these books here and this water and the phone just as props.
Yeah, just fake
to make
water.
me look important.
Yeah, it's just straight vodka.
I reckon a diary and a notepad.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing. If you've got a notepad and a pen,
yeah,
makes you look just a little more important than you actually are.
Yeah, and you've got the quite a weighty book there. So it's like, oh, he's got stuff to do, you know.
Yeah.
Got to leave him alone.
What's in the
Far
book?
out.
Nothing.
Shit to do.
Drawings. I draw trucks in my book. I just draw trucks. That's all I do. Just draw trucks.
You should. Yeah. How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, man.
Excellent.
We had a couple of last-minute changes in the studio here.
Oh, look at that.
Anything in particular that you
Well, we've got new camera angles.
Yeah,
very happy with that.
Angles, yeah.
Jesus, hello. Look at that.
Feeling it?
Oh, you know what I miss? Max is going to kill me for this, but you know what I miss?
Oh, wait.
I miss the Batman zoom.
Oh,
I miss the Batman zoom. Hey?
Can you just? Can you bring that back?
Oh, there he goes, the Batman zoom. No. Oscar's at daycare today. He's wearing a Batman t-shirt.
Wicked.
He insisted. I opened his drawer and he went, and pointed to his Batman t-shirt.
Oh, you could be like, no.
I do. That's what I do. I go, no, and he goes,
That's pretty cool.
He hasn't worked out consonants yet, so everything's kind of in vowels.
Yeah. That's right. One step at a time.
Yeah.
What's up to everyone on Facebook and YouTube? If you're here, just type "I'm here," and we'd love to just say hello and see what's going on.
That would be great.
Check in with the community.
Leave a comment.
Before we jump into the show.
This is interesting. Facebook want me to add a business phone number to my Facebook page so it's easy for people to get in touch.
Maybe they could call into the show.
Are you fucking insane? You want me to leave my phone number on my business page on Facebook so people can call me?
Just random people on the internet can just call you at any time.
A ludicrous idea.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Now,
zero distraction.
That's right. Interestingly, also, I haven't been notified that we're live.
I got YouTube. Are you subscribed to
I've got
Elevation?
I've got YouTube too. I know what YouTube is. YouTube's a website where you go and watch videos.
Oh, you got?
I've even got the app on my phone.
I've got YouTube.
I've got YouTube. I've got Facebook. I've got LinkedIn.
No, I got a
I've got mail.
Yay! Look, 30 minutes. Watch
right.
Blah, blah,
Never
blah.
got that. And maybe it's because I have all my notifications turned off. That's why. But I just don't know if we're live, and this is distressing.
You're on the show though, so just.
I know I'm on the show, but listen, there are three things. There are three things that make for a good story, right, and a good experience. And performers, particularly, need three things. They need, a performance needs three things. They need performers, which is in this case you and I. You need a space, which we've invested a lot in, and you need an audience. And that's what I'm missing. I don't know if we've got an audience right now because I'm not getting any positive feedback that we're actually live on Facebook.
Zero viewers on
it says zero viewers. So if we are on Facebook and you are watching us, can you please give us a hell yeah in the chat? Let us know that this is all working so that I can then go find it and know that everything we're doing here is worthwhile because we do this for you, believe it or not. I know that might be hard to believe, but we do this for you. So if it's working and you're watching this, here we go, there it is, live. Look at that, fantastic. Woohoo! Okay, as you were. I'm happy now. Back to normal programming.
Yeah, we interrupt this to figure out what we're doing.
Oh, there we go. Pandelis is here from Sydney. Hey, Pandelis. Amber Neville from Western Australia says, hell yeah. Mario says, Troy's sound is clipping a little. Oh. Are you on to that?
Max goes, it is, correct.
Have you brought me down on the mixer? Yeah? Okay. You fixed it? No, I hadn't fixed it. Okay. I'll just keep my voice down a bit. Jennifer says he needs a Maverick jacket. I'm assuming that she's referring to Ben.
Like a bomber jacket.
Yeah. There he is.
Oh, look at him.
I love it when Ben makes it on the show. It's fantastic. Yeah. People are like, what the hell does Ben do? Sit there? Why is he sitting there? Well. Why is he sitting there? He's actually responding to the chat. There he is. He's responding to the chat. The only matter of time before we give him a microphone. He's like a drummer. You know, you just don't give them a microphone early on. They have to prove themselves first, and then you give them a microphone. Because once you give the drummer a microphone, he's never giving it back, and it could all turn to shit very quickly.
Let's give this drummer a microphone.
Chris Cameron says, hell yeah. Corey Hines says, hell yeah. Cool. I mean, hell yeah. Awesome. Okay.
We're here. That's good.
Good. So, what are we... and YouTube's going off as well. Lots of chat on YouTube.
Carly Martin's here. What's up, Carly Martin? Arrested Steve, good morning.
Arrested Steve.
Andy, DOHD1. Hi again, all one word.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Andy? Cheers for tuning in. I saw you here last week.
This is a surprise to me because I never thought that anyone would actually chat on a YouTube video.
Same. No,
but it is. So there you go.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today, Mr. Kelly?
Yeah, well, at the intro I did say...
Oh.
Yeah, no, we're talking about... Oh, sorry, did I too.
Can you just go and replay the intro, Max, so I can remember what we're talking about?
So we're talking about why your website isn't working and how you can fix that, because it needs to be doing something for you, otherwise why is it there? And also, like, why your clients a reflection of you, which is actually what we're going to talk about right now. Which I actually think is quite fascinating. Lots of people do talk about how, like, oh, this client's annoying me, or that client's annoying me, or something isn't working. But like you attract those kind of clients, and you know what you allow, you promote basically. So you need it's up to you to change the level of clients that you're working with, and it's up to you to dictate how that relationship works, not the other way around. Client walks in and says, I want this and I want this, and if you keep saying yes, then that's basically what you're going to keep getting, is the clients dictating. So that's why your business can be very hard to manage and wrangle in if you're always at the whim of your clients. Just give me a yes in the comments if that's what you feel like, or no if that's not what you feel like. If you feel like you're in control, which will hopefully be a lot of our elevators who are watching this. But yeah, just give us a yes if that's what you feel like. Sometimes your clients just like grab things and shake them about when you try to keep them in control.
So hang on, they're giving us a yes if they feel like their clients are in control of them?
That's right.
Okay, so if you feel like your clients are managing you, give us a yes in the chat. There's a big conversation going on about this in our Facebook group at the moment.
Yeah.
A couple of our members are trying to fire clients who have, and I love this when you go through, and so at the moment there's like, you know, we're up to this is a true story, one of our members is up to their 11th draft of a logo, 11 drafts of a logo. I would have fired that client after version 3, and up to their 3rd draft of a website, and they're still not happy with the direction it's going in. That client needs to go. There's one very simple reason why that client is walking all over you right now, and that is because they don't trust you. And if they don't trust you, the relationship is over. They need to pay you for the work they're done, and they need to piss off and find someone else to hassle.
Yeah.
Very simple. You're fired. Sorry, I can't help you anymore because you're not helping yourself. Bye. It's not me, it's you.
Yeah.
You're a twat.
Yeah.
Sod off.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Yeah. And you actually command respect by doing that, by saying...
Who cares if you don't command respect? Who cares if they hate you for the rest of your life?
No.
They're a shithouse client.
Whether
Get
they
rid
like
of them
or not, like, is kind of irrelevant, but like you dictate how your business works, and I think that's the most important thing here.
It's like if you go into a pub and you're off your face and you try and order a beer, and the barman's like, dude, sorry man, I can't serve you, go home.
But I want one.
You're probably, you're probably going to hate the barman that night, but you'll probably thank him in the morning, you know, and he keeps his license, and it's their business. So it's their rules.
They set the rules. That's
Correct.
right. Your house, your rules.
Your business, your rules. That's exactly right.
So do you know the logo designer that did the latest Apple one? Like I don't know what they call the two-tone Apple logo?
No.
Because Steve Jobs contacted him to get the logo done, and he was like, I want some options. And the logo designer, I can't remember his name, please tell me what it is if someone knows this, said, I will solve your problem for you. If you want options, then you can speak to as many people as you like. Yeah. But I will give you one option, and I will solve your problem for you.
Correct. And it'll be $100,000.
It was something ridiculous. Yeah,
that's right.
But he did. And there you go.
Correct.
And that's what became of that.
So if the client is how much was that?
It was $4 grand.
Paul Rand.
Paul Rand. There you go. That's right.
Give
Paul
this
Rand.
man a microphone.
Paul Rand.
He's proven himself.
If your client is micromanaging, it's because they don't trust you, and chances are it's because you haven't done a good enough job of positioning yourself as someone who has a process and knows what they're doing in the first place. Because
That's right.
if you've positioned yourself well enough in the first place, they will trust you and they'll just get out of your way and let you get on with the job.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the problems that I see a lot of people have is at the beginning, the relationship with the prospect is you're trying to figure out like what the budget is, and it's kind of like a bit of a pissing contest, like who's gonna choke first, right?
Oh,
Whoever
that's
speaks
right.
first loses, or
Yes.
whatever bullshit that's all about.
Yeah.
And we actually had one of our alumni, Robert Simmons, actually did a live video within the Facebook group and helped some of the elevators to answer this question, and we actually have this one ready to go. So let's see what Rob had to say about that.
Hey, what's up, elevators? So I just saw a post that Rick made in the group, and it's one of my pet peeves about clients that will not give you a budget. Has always driven me nuts, and since going through WP Elevation, I've taken some things I learned in there, tweaked them, made them my own, and I have kind of a solution for working with that. I hope you guys can hear me okay, because I'm here at Disney World and I sometimes don't have the greatest audio, but I think we should be good. So the problem of a client not giving you a budget is pretty common. I mean, a lot of them are like, oh yeah, well, I'll show you yours if you show me mine. That kind of, it's a bunch of games. It's really annoying, but ultimately they do it because they don't trust you enough, right? And yes, we could address that whole thing of getting the client to trust you more and give you that budget number, but ultimately that's not something that's necessarily a quick fix. But there's a few things you can do about that. So the first thing is just avoid them completely, because they're not willing to give you their budget. They're probably not ready to work with you. But if you really do want to work with this client, you think that, okay, thanks Joan for letting me know, you can hear me good. If you really want to work with them, you think it's a good fit, whatever, as soon as they tell you, well, we're not going to tell you the budget, just tell us how much it's going to cost, I immediately throw out a massive, massive number that I know based on what they've told me it will be plenty to cover it. So they want a basic, brochure type website, and they've got no e-commerce or anything like that. They want a website. I think, great. You want me to just give you a number, probably looking about 270, 280,000. And when they pick themselves up off the floor, and like, that's insane, we could never pay that much. It's okay, great. So you do have a budget, you do have a limit. Why don't you tell me what that is? And then they'll usually be like, well, it's definitely not that much, but it's, we're looking to stay closer to 10,000 or whatever the number might be.
From Robert Simmons, I love it. Well, brochure website, it's going to be about $270,000 or $280,000.
Yeah.
Whoa,
yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So what is your budget?
So you
That's
do
right.
have one.
You show me yours and I'll show you mine.
Yeah, exactly.
His radical idea as well is I like to let them know roughly what they're going to be spending before I even have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
So I would say something like, you should know before we waste each other's time. It's like dating, It's like, listen, I really like you and I know you really like me because you're flirting with me and we're going to go out for dinner, but before we waste too much time, you should know I'm just not into polyester or kids. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
how does that sit with you? Because
yeah, because otherwise, let's just not waste our time.
Exactly.
Turns out I do like kids.
Yeah.
Don't like polyester though. So I say, look, our project, you should know, our project sits somewhere between 15 and 40K.
Yeah.
If we're still having a conversation, happy days.
No big
if
surprises, no massive sticker shock when
Correct.
you actually reveal what it ends up being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Andrew Downey says, popped over from YouTube. It's Andy, DOHD.
What's
There you
up,
go, look at that.
Andrew?
He's now watching on Facebook. No idea of client budget. No idea of client budget is a real pain. As cheap as possible is the usual reply. That's okay. I'll make you a shitty website. As cheap as possible.
Do you also want 0 results? It's just changing the conversation, right? Like, if you keep talking about price, then you'll always talk about price.
That's right.
But if you talk about the value that you're getting and the problems that you're solving for them, that changes the conversation.
It all goes back to why. Start with why, start with why, start with why.
Just stop talking about cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. There's always someone who's ready to go out of business faster than you.
Correct.
Just race to the bottom. You see ads on Facebook for like websites for $3.95 and people get upset about that. That's not the industry changing. That's just the people at the bottom level trying, the bottom feeders trying to feed that type of customer.
They're not your customers.
Not your customer. Nope. If you believe that's what you need to do, then you need a mental mind shift to get to the next level.
And here's a big mind shift for you. One of our members, Victor Ramirez, who is one of our runaway case studies, Victor had so much success after he went through the blueprint. He had so much success at getting high-ticket clients from Upwork that Upwork actually put his picture on a billboard in Times Square in New York City, as one of their success stories, right?
Yeah.
He then went on to land an enterprise position with Dow Jones, and now he's posting back in our Facebook group doing case studies on what a $100,000 WordPress website looks like and what's involved.
Yeah.
So if you don't think if you don't think you can build a WordPress website for $100,000, then you are right. If you don't think you can build a WordPress website for $100,000, then you are right. If you think you can, then you are right.
Let it sink in.
Was it Henry Ford? Or was it...
it was Mr. Ford.
Lincoln. Was it Lincoln or Mr. Ford? If you think you can or you think you can't, you are right.
It was Mr. Ford.
Mr. Ford, Henry Ford.
Yeah. I'll also love his other quote. If I'd given people what they asked for, I would have built a faster horse.
That's right.
I think it's great when it comes to like client requests. Just like, no, I know what I'm doing, okay? So
that was
just
a
let me
fast
do it.
horse, by the way. It wasn't me having
I'm
a
all over
seizure,
that.
it was a
Got
fast
that.
horse. The reason that you're still selling websites for $500 or $1,500 or whatever your price point is, whatever your cap is because that's what you believe. You believe that nobody will pay me more than $1,500 for a website.
That's right.
I used to believe that when I started out back in 2000. And when someone first paid me $3,000 for a website, that myth was busted and my belief changed because I had new information. So with new information came a new belief. Oh, someone will pay me $3,000 for a website. Holy shit, I wonder if they'll pay me $5,000 for a website. Turns out they will. That myth is then busted, my belief and my thinking gets bigger, and I'm expanding my belief because I now have proof. Right? So the truth is someone will pay me $25,000 for a website and I actually don't have to work that much harder than building the $1,500 website. In fact, the truth is by the time I was building $25,000 websites, they were easier than when I was building $1,500 websites because the technology had changed, the plugins and the themes were easier, and my experience was better and my workflow was better. So I was actually working harder to build $1,500 websites than I was to build $25,000 websites. And once someone pays you 25 grand for a website, it's like, wow, I never thought in a million years someone would pay me 25 grand for a WordPress website. Turns out they will. So that is now a truth that I can believe because I have the fact to prove it. I have the evidence to prove it. Whereas previously, I didn't have the evidence to prove it, so the myth was no one will pay more than $1,500 for a website, and that myth kept me operating in this kind of space.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So you can either change your mindset now knowing that there is a different truth, or you can just stay within your comfort zone and keep getting what you've always got. If you'd like to learn more and like to hear more from this guy teaching an amazing webinar about how to grow your WordPress business, then check out the webinar. I think we've got a bit of a short snippet from that. If we could roll that and check it out, get a little preview.
Time to dig into the gold nugget.
Hey gang, Troy Dean here from WP Elevation, and welcome to this free online training workshop where we're going to help you learn how to grow and scale your WordPress consulting business so that you can start attracting better clients, work on better projects, get paid better fees for the work that you're already doing, get some more recurring revenue into your business, maybe grow a team if that's what you want to do, and turn your passion for building WordPress websites and doing all things digital marketing into a sustainable and profitable business.
Obviously not 10 minutes.
There we go. There we go. Just chatting
That was fast, wasn't it?
Just chatting away there.
It's a fast 10 seconds.
Talking to the 300 people working behind the scenes here to make it all happen. wplinks.io/webinar is where you're going to learn more there. Got to say, can I just say,
You can.
Ben's doing a fantastic job at welcoming people to the show. He's playing a bit of a concierge role over there. Look, there he is.
Nice one.
He's playing a bit of a concierge
Taking off
role
your
over
jacket.
there. Welcoming people to the program. A couple of little funny quips. FYI, Arrested Steve is actually Steve Little.
Oh.
He said,
of
it's
course.
me, Steve
What's
from...
up? You've changed your profile picture, dude.
He said it's from Arrested Graphics and Web Solutions. Great name. And Ben, posting as WP Elevation, replying to Steve, says, I was thinking there was a completely different story behind that name.
Yeah. What is the story behind the
banter
name,
going.
Steve? Let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Arrested Graphics and Web Solutions.
Why
Well,
arrested?
they're arresting.
Hey?
They're arresting, you know.
They're arresting?
They're arresting. They're like confrontational. They're engaging. They arrest your attention. That's what arrested means, you know. I was arrested by his brilliance.
Wow.
That's what people say when they meet me.
Yeah. Do they? Do they? So, what about the website? You know, when it comes to your own
that's
website,
right. It's supposed to be,
when it
it's
comes,
supposed to be talking about why your websites don't work.
yeah. This is probably an easy one to answer for everyone. Let us know in the comments. Give us a yes if you've got a website. That should be an easy one.
Well,
Can I with that one? Give us a why.
There was a if I go back to our Facebook group, there was a question. I think the reason that most websites don't work. Well, first of all, we've got to define what does work mean. What does website work mean? Like, if your how do you know if your website's working? Right?
Exactly.
There's many different reasons that you might have a website. For example, I worked with an accounting firm once. The main reason they wanted a website was because accounting graduates, their biggest problem was actually not getting clients. They had plenty of work on. Accountants are pretty much a recession-proof industry. They needed candidates. They needed graduates and good staff to come and work with them and stay for a long time because they wanted a succession plan to build up their graduates into leaders and then eventually become partners. And their website was a pile of shit. And so what would happen is graduates who were at university were thinking about going and working for local accounting firms, and they'd Google around and they go, I'm not going to work for those dinosaurs. Have a look at their website. It was built in 1904. And I have to fax my application through. So they had a very different reason for wanting a website. They wanted to be able to hand out business cards at networking events and not cringe, and they wanted to attract better candidates. However, us as consultants and digital marketers and web designers, we probably want clients. We probably want leads, and that's or a credibility indicator. Hey, here's work we've done in the past. This is proof that we can do it. So we're the right people to work on your project. And we probably want to position ourselves as a specialist and an authority, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
So any other reason we might want a website?
Yeah, I think they're pretty much the key reasons. What is fascinating, what you're saying at the very beginning is like, how will you know when it's working? I think that's the question that a lot of people just don't ask. Like, what needs to be true for this website to be a success? Like, for your own website, what needs to be true? You're going to be generating leads. Would they just come through like email subscriptions? Would it be a certain amount of traffic? Would it be a certain level, quality of lead? Like, what needs to be true for your website to be working? And I think you really need to get clear on that first. And there are a couple of things that that just need to be consistent, and a few things that we teach in the blueprint. One of them is your UVP, your unique value proposition. Which really, like, I like what duct tape marketing talk about this, and they call it like a talking logo. I like to try to use this in like, if I'm doing any speaking gigs, you should be able to just write it and say it to someone, right? Like, someone says, "What do you do?" If you say I'm a web designer, they're like, yeah. And then I make your website.
That's my standard response. I do acid, and then I make your website. That's right.
You used to be a guitarist. Oh no, you still are a guitarist. Well, that makes sense. Hence the acid.
That's right.
It helps write good songs. That's what I've heard. So you do acid.
So when someone says, "What do?" You don't say, "Oh, I'm a web designer."
Boring. Next.
No worries.
Just like everyone else. You know, you want someone to go, "Oh wow, that's interesting. How do you do that?" Right. So I help e-commerce sites double their revenue in 12 months. Like, oh shit, that's
how do you do that?
How do you do that? Exactly.
I help non-profits achieve their campaign goals. Really?
We help WordPress consultants leverage their business and find freedom.
There we go.
That's not bad,
web designer. Well, I'm a web designer, but I actually help non-profits achieve their campaign goals. So you understand that non-profits have campaigns, and those campaigns have goals. Well, of course I do, because that's what I specialise in. Oh, really? Now we're having
two really important parts of the old UVP is unique and value.
Correct.
Right? And we've seen hundreds, if not thousands of WordPress consultants come through and create their UVPs. And one of the things most people get stuck on is the unique part. They try to be clever before they're clear. Right? And it just gets super confusing. I was talking to Max about this last week because he was trying to come up with his. And it's just like, you don't need the fancy wordsmithing or anything like that. Just say what you do and the value that you provide, and don't fit in with everyone else. What is the unique value that you can provide?
That's right.
And you don't have to be super smart about it.
There you go.
And that's pretty much a good way to get to your first draft. So you need to have that. You need to have a UVP. You also need to have something that helps you establish your authority and positions you as the expert, and that is your blog. I hate the name blog personally, and I think it's a pretty boring kind of thing, but you need to be producing thought-provoking and like industry-leading content. I see a lot of people get stuck. They're like, oh, this kind of content already exists on the internet, so why would I come in and talk about this? But you haven't produced it, and your audience aren't looking at all those other resources about improving your website or SEO. So you should just jump in with those things, and you should be one of the people that are creating those. So don't let that hold you back, because there's already content that exists about a particular topic.
Here's a great example of UVP that I love. It comes from Mark Phillips from one of our Facebook groups. This is from a little while ago.
Oh, yeah.
His company's called Monster Workshop. And his UVP is, this is splashed on his homepage, bring your website back from the dead with a monstrous amount of traffic and leads.
Nice. I like it.
It's unique, it's valuable to the right customer, and it actually proposes something. It proposes a change. We're going to bring your website back from the dead with a monstrous amount of traffic and leads, and the background image is basically of a zombie apocalypse. It's unique. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. I dig it.
I'm just scrolling through and having a look at some others. Here we go. Paul Leonard has got a great UVP. I consult, I create, you conquer. I would switch that. If it was me, I would say you conquer, I consult, I create.
Yeah. It's switching to focus on your clients and not on you, because it's not about you.
Yeah, that's right.
They don't look at your website and go, I wonder what this person's all about. I want to know more about them. They do that after they're intrigued, not beforehand.
Yeah.
Right.
And I you know, I heard another one recently from one of our members that said, we help change makers change the world.
Nice.
Something like that. You change the world, we help you make that change, or something along those lines. Mentioned nothing about websites or digital marketing. That's what they do. They do digital marketing and websites. Yeah. So, we'd love. Did you ask him to share their UVP in the comments?
No.
We'd love you to share your unique value proposition in the comments so that we can take screenshots and take the piss out of them on next week's episode.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, just post up what you've got now.
Kidding.
And
kind of
give us some feedback.
Kind of kidding. But yeah, we'd love you to share your unique value proposition below. Your unique value proposition, as Simon said, should be unique, should offer some value, and should propose something.
Makes sense, you know.
Makes perfect sense.
It's on the tin.
Don't overthink it. That's it, exactly. Don't overthink it.
Another important thing is the old lead capture device.
That's right. This is what I want to talk about. Yeah, go on.
Oh, no, go
on. No, you go, because
ahead.
I've got a technical thing I want to talk about.
Thanks, man.
No worries.
And it's to do with, like, when you get, there's like 3 different types of traffic that will come to your website, yeah? You've got cold, warm, and hot traffic, yeah? So, like, cold traffic are people that, like, don't have any idea about who you are, and they'll see your UVP, and that's got to get their attention. Yeah, and then you've got warm traffic. They know a little bit about you. They trust you. They may have read one of your articles, and they maybe want a little something. This is when the lead magnet comes in. And then the hot traffic is when you want to basically get them on a call. That's the people that know, like, and trust you, and they're ready to dance. But with the warm traffic, you want to give them something in order to get the contact details. Instead of them just browsing, looking at things, they trust you a bit, they leave, and they kind of forget about you. You want to give something valuable in exchange for some contact details. And one of the things that we teach, and we have templates, many templates in the blueprint, but we teach giving a lead magnet using a pop-up or just having some valuable resource that's on your website that helps your ideal prospect get to some kind of end result. And you need to definitely have one of these on your website. If you are a WP Elevation member and you don't have this, please let us know and we can help to give you those templates. And if you're not, then
you should join. There, I said it.
That's clear.
Now, one of the technical questions we have in our Facebook group, our private members-only Facebook group, which is behind the platinum door, only for our platinum members. One of the questions was, I want to offer a content upgrade to my blog readers, and once they opt in, I want to then return them to the blog post that they were reading, not throw them off to a thank you page.
Yep.
So, in good news, if you are using the Elementor Pro page builder, we're not sponsored by Elementor yet, but I will mention that if you are using the Elementor Pro page builder, they have now got pop-ups baked in, and they are freaking awesome. I've been playing around with them. They are just surreal. They're so good. And there's an amazing form builder in the Elementor Pro page builder as well. So what you can do is you can program the pop-up to say, hey, you're halfway through a blog post, would you like to download my cheat sheet as part of the blog post? And they go, yay! They click a button, the pop-up appears, it asks for their name and email address, which then pipes it through to your email service provider like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or Infusionsoft or Ontraport or ConvertKit or Drip or Zoho or whichever CRM you're using, which then sends them an email with the thing that they've downloaded, and once they've submitted that form, you can tell the Elementor pop-up to just close the pop-up.
Bam.
and it returns them to where exactly they were reading the blog post. It's
Lovely.
genius.
Yeah.
There we go. So if you haven't already got it, I don't get paid a commission to recommend Elementor because I haven't got my affiliate link sorted out. So just go and check out Elementor Pro. If you're not using that bloody page builder by now, you should be. It's a game changer. It's the best thing since sliced bread. In fact, it's the best thing since custom post types. I absolutely love Elementor. It's changed my passion for WordPress. It's reinvigorated my passion for WordPress. Yeah. I'm about as excited as a 15-year-old at a Beatles concert.
Let's do that. Yeah, everyone can relate to a Beatles concert.
So go check out the Elementor Pro page builder and use their pop-ups.
Yeah, they're bloody good. Yeah,
I think
we don't have time for me to argue with you about that, so I'm not going to.
We don't have time for that.
But I'd love to.
Let's just skip that next bit. We don't have time for that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Tool of the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. How are we going for time?
Not very well.
Not very well.
But let's, we'd like to give a resource on the show, of course.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's look at
Time
it.
for Tool of the Week.
Get ready for Tool of the Week.
So the problem is, in your business, sometimes you don't know what you're meant to be doing, and you don't know why you're doing it, and you can get a little bit lost in the weeds and the client work and the problems and the blah, blah, blah. Never has it happened to me. But remembering why you're doing this and your sweet spot, like what is you most passionate about, where your skills and passions align, where you can give most value to the marketplace. Getting clear on these things regularly will really help you keep your flame alive and to help you get better results in your business. We have a worksheet for this called the Total Clarity of Purpose. It's a couple of pages there. It's nice and easy to fill out. It only takes about 20 minutes or so to fill it in, but it is super valuable, and it's something that we recommend to our Mavericks and also to our pilots and our cadets, everyone in the Blueprint program. So if you would like this worksheet, if this would be something that you would enjoy, then just type yes please into the comments, and we'll get Ben to run around and give that to everyone. So just type in yes please, and we'll send you over the Total Clarity of Purpose worksheet.
Type in yes please, and Ben will appear on your doorstep in the next 24 hours with a folded up copy of that worksheet in an envelope, and he'll actually hand it to you.
I'm sorry it's going to take so long, but that's as fast as we can do it.
Very exciting. Monte Cristo just texted me and said, dude, you're excited this week, peaking out on your levels.
Nice.
Which is excellent. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But thanks for the text, Monte Cristo. Old school, offline, dude. Send me a text.
Straight through, cut through the noise.
See, that's why I don't put my phone number up on Facebook. If you put your phone number up on Facebook, random people just text you all the bloody time, don't they? He's not random. He's a good mate of mine, Monte Cristo.
Yes.
Loving your work, boy.
He's a legend, and he's one of our community members. We did have some questions in from the community, so let's see if we can help some people get unstuck.
Let's get unstuck.
Lots of wah-wah guitar in our bumpers, isn't there? Lots of that kind of stuff in our music bumpers.
Very well observed, Troy. Well
Thanks.
done. So Natalie Zisman says, how about this, man? How do you manage multiple potential clients when you don't outsource and you actually do the work yourself? Do you book more than one project at a time, or do you like sequence them one after the other? I found that timeframes are rarely honored by clients, so the projects always go over time. Thanks. Yeah, that's an interesting one, and the way you're looking at me means I'm going to answer this one. So the way that I would handle this, I would kind of take the point that you mentioned about like you do the work yourself, you don't outsource. I take that out of the picture, because the way that you manage this, I think, is exactly the same, whether it's by yourself or it's with a team, right? It's just there is a resource that's going to be doing the work, and the work needs to be scheduled in. All right, so it really depends on what kind of work that you're doing. If you're doing bespoke stuff for your clients every time, then it's pretty much going to be impossible to always keep to a time frame. So that's why in Mavericks and in WP Elevation, we like to teach the predictable product, doing something consistent over and over again. So you know that it's a predictable time frame, it's predictable results, it's predictable processes, and you can just get more and more efficient at that thing. So point one is to like schedule things in, but just don't be offering bespoke stuff all the time. Second point I would say there is, if your clients are dictating the time frames, then you're definitely doing something wrong there. Like you need to be the one that's in control of this whole process, right? This is your business, this is your product you're offering. Okay, like I don't like buy something from Subway and I have so much involvement in that it's going to take me 3 hours to get a sandwich, right? Like they move me along the queue and it happens and then out you pop. Like that's
No soup for you.
Yeah, no pickles for you.
That's right.
So control your process. Have a look at what you're doing that's the clients are holding something up and remove that part out. So that's not part of the project anymore. Is it to do with inserting content? Then that's after you've delivered your part of the bargain. So just have a look at what you're doing there, Natalie, and let us know in the community like what else we can do to help. But we just need a bit more clarity over that one.
Streamline your processes is the key there, absolutely. Phil Story's got a question. Hey team, just curious about people's thoughts on the support solution mentioned at the end of the pre-flight check, which is the first module in our Blueprint course. What do you think are the advantages of using something like Help Scout instead of just getting people to use your support email address? Well, I can tell you the advantages are that once you hire someone to help you with support, you want to use something like Help Scout or whatever, some help desk solution for two reasons. One, so that you can share an inbox with that person and you can track how long it's taking to get back to people and close support tickets. But two, so that you can start to build a knowledge base so that people can answer their own questions, like when they email and go, hey Phil, you know that website we launched a couple of weeks ago, it's not on page 1 of Google yet, what's going wrong? And you can say, well, refer to this knowledge base article where we answered this question 3 years ago because the answer hasn't changed. It takes time. So you can start to develop a knowledge base where you can then educate your customers. And if you're really clever, you can make that knowledge base searchable by the search engines and indexable. And you can actually use that knowledge base as content marketing to position yourself as an authority and attract better leads. Jesus, that was that one idea there is worth like 400 grand. It is. That
Go and sell that then. Go on,
if you execute that one idea that I just gave you, you could make $400,000 in new project revenue over the next couple of years.
I reckon, yeah.
And if you don't, it's just because you're not taking enough action because you're either, scared or lazy or stoned or all three.
Yeah,
there you go.
You only took the acid part of this conversation seriously. Acid,
right.
you say?
Yeah.
I'll do that. The Help Scout thing, not so sure, but I'm definitely sure on the acid.
Definitely sure on the acid. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so if you're looking to grow your WordPress consulting business, please check out our webinar. There's plenty of gold in there. You can see about how to go from 0 to 100,000 and beyond and help to get the next level of client that you're after and grow the business that you've always dreamed of. So check it out at wplinks.io/webinar. It's been fun.
Very good. It has been fun. Mitch Britt says moving to one specific day of the week for website launches has helped. Yes,
nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just pick it. There's no real right or wrong. You get to set the rules. Nice one, Mitch. Taking control.
That's right. Steve also says, also getting my top level care plan clients to write articles as well and now tutoring them how to do just that. This is a bit of a distinction. Steve Little, otherwise known as Arrested Steve, nothing to do with his jail time. Steve Little says, I'm joking, he hasn't been to jail as far as I know. Steve Little says that he is educating, as part of his top level care plan, he's educating his clients how to write articles.
Nice.
Good work, Steve.
Extra value right there.
We're going to be back here again next week.
Yeah.
We are going to be back here again next week.
Double recording next week.
We are going to do a bit of double recording next week because Max is away the following week. So next week we're going to record 2 episodes back to back, and then the following week we're going to live stream it, but it will be pre-recorded, but you probably won't know the difference. That's the magic of the Wizard of Oz and the internets. Yeah. We might just bring a different shirt. Yeah. And swap shirts.
Yeah. Totally.
You wear mine, I'll wear yours.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll just be Steve and Monte Cristo watching anyway,
that's
so that's
right.
fine. We'll just repeat the comments.
Exactly. Good stuff. All right, thanks for being a part of it. This is the show where we help you start and grow your very own WordPress consulting business. So check out the webinar, wplinks.io/webinar is where you learn more about that. Until next week, I'm Troy Dean.
I'm Simon Kelly, and remember, knowledge is power.
And silence is golden.